Boxing Live here. DJ Boxing Live here.
EJ Boxing Live here, one of the top trainers in the country, Don Charles. Earlier on I saw Frank Buglioni sparring Enzo Machinelli. It was some great sparring, and Frank's getting ready for his big show July the 1st against Ricky Summers. So tell us about, obviously you bring Enzo into the camp, and how's Frank looking in training?
Yeah, Frank is an immaculate professional, you know. He's one of these guys, everything's like in order, you know. He's very, very, his approach to training is, like I said, immaculate. His attitude to training is immaculate. Generally, as a person, he's immaculate. And so that's what you known as immaculate conception.
Immaculate, perfect, yeah, perfect. He looks, obviously he come across sharp, clean, and now he's the champion. Now he's the lightweight British champion, and there's some targets on his back. People target him. Ricky Summers, I talked to him. He's got 84 amateur bouts. He's had stops and starts in his career. He's undefeated. Frank said that, you know, that went into picking him. And how do you think this fight's going to transfer? How do you think it's going to? Yeah, what kind of fight do you reckon you can expect for the fight fans?
Well, we're expecting. Listen, I've said it on numerous occasions. Whenever I'm asked this question, remember, we have gone and chosen to fight this guy. He hasn't chosen us. Yeah, right. My mentality is, if I'm walking down the street and a man minding my own business and a man says, "Hey, I want to fight you," I'm going to take offense. Yeah. So therefore, we are approaching this. Trust me, this is a hard fight. The guy's unbeaten. There's a reason why he's unbeaten. Yeah. Okay. Now, in terms of how will the fight unfold, we're expecting a very tough fight. He's going to be stubborn. Yeah. He's going to be stubborn in the first half of the fight. It's a 12-round fight, right? Right. We expect him to be stubborn for the first part of the fight, and we will systematically break him down. Frank will, and we've studied Ricky Summers the same way he would have studied Frank. So therefore, it's a question of who is able to administer and apply their skills on the night.
Absolutely, and Frank obviously against the last fight against Horst Burton administered the same sort of thing, broke him down round by round. He was down on the scorecards, and obviously a massive win in the last round in a film slight ending, and to capture the British title. So you expect the same sort of increased pressure from Frank.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I must make it clear that prior to that fight, Frank had only been with myself. Remember, he changed teams.
Yeah.
I became his trainer 5 months prior to him fighting Jose Burton. So considering the short time we spent together as a coach and a fighter, so there was kind of a remnant of what we were working on. There was signs of the new things we were trying to put into place. What a fight to have gone into as your first fight with your coach, new coach.
Yeah.
Very tough fight, very tough opponent, an unbeaten opponent, and we knew it was going to be very hard. Didn't think it would be that hard, but
yeah.
it proved to be really, really hard that night. Jose Burton was on his was at his best.
Yeah.
I've watched various fights he's had before. I've never seen him put off that kind of performance. Yeah. And we knew we would get to him. The pressure we was going to put on him and was putting on him was making him throw shots that he didn't intend on throwing, just to try and keep Frank off.
Yeah. That
was always the plan. Yeah. And okay, you could say we got lucky, but you make your own luck. We worked hard, and the luck comes with it. Yeah, we knew he was going to win the fight. We knew he was going to win it by stoppage. But like I said, Jose Burton proved to be more stubborn and difficult than we anticipated, but nevertheless, eventually Frank broke him down and broke his heart.
Absolutely, and then now because of this, he's the British light heavyweight champion and heading the card on July the 1st. We also want to talk to you about, obviously, Frank sparred George Groves, and now George Groves is the actual champion at super middleweight.
World champion.
Yeah, world champion, the WBA version of a world champion. So talk about obviously George Groves capturing the belt, and obviously your contribution with Frank. together and that. I feel like obviously just a small bit. Obviously, you contribute to sparring and helping in that. How do you feel about
George?
George?
Sparring, iron sharpens iron. You've heard of those terms before. They've had some great, very competitive rounds. Yeah. Absolutely. Considering George is only a super middleweight, but that kid Gross will spar anybody. They had some proper. You'd pay to watch some of the sessions they did together in terms of sparring. So when you're mixing in that kind of company, for Frank, for instance, when you've sparred Groves and round after round after round, it really brings. And with George, you've got to be totally switched on. You can't switch off at any moment because that kid is dangerous at any moment. He's a sharpshooter. So therefore, but I'm sure George would have also benefited from the spars. Because Frank is a very, very strong athlete, very, very strong. Very, very well conditioned and very mentally very strong as well. So therefore, they would have both benefited from it. We definitely will take a load out of benefit from sparring the likes of your George using that. I'm so glad for him because that kid. I mean, he's had those two epic battles with Froch. And people were writing him off. Oh, he's had his. No, I wasn't one of those people. I'm actually a George Groves fan in the sense that I'm so glad for him and Shane. The fact they went and did it. He's world champion at the fourth attempt. Frank Bruno was the other person who kept trying, and eventually he got it. And I'm so glad for him he got it. Now he will have that. It would be a crime for him to have gone through his boxing career and not, because he's better than what he had already achieved. Absolutely,
and also as well another light heavyweight just been signed by Matchroom. Joshua Buatsi just signed with Matchroom as well, and he was also sparred with Frank Buglioni. And obviously, how do you think his career? And obviously, Frank also in the interview I had, he was saying, he thinks he's one to watch out in the light heavyweight division.
Most definitely in the future, of course. I mean, the young man just returned from the Olympics. I believe he got bronze, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you don't get awarded bronze medals unless you have to earn it. So therefore, of course, is one for the future. He's been here. He's had one session with Frank, and from what I saw, stylistically, perfect style to become a professional boxer. Because some amateurs, it takes a while for them to make the transition from amateur to pro. But someone like Buatsi, the style he brings, it looks like he will make the transition fairly easy. So therefore, I think he hits as well. He hits quite hard. He hasn't hit me. I've been told by my fighter that he carries a punch, and exactly. So it's one for the future. And would he ever fight Frank? It depends on how these things go. He has probably they're probably fast tracking as an Olympian. He's got probably 3 years of catching up to do. Should we be at the stage where we haven't accomplished what we want to accomplish, I believe we will be far well gone to where we're going before the likes of Bill Buatsi's come. That's a new generation of light heavyweights. So he definitely is to watch out for this young man. So I've seen him firsthand, and I liked what I saw.
Absolutely. We're going to pause for a bit so I can get anything, and then you guys will come back for part 2.
No problem.
Alright, we're here part 2. So we're talking about Frank Buglioni, and now we'll talk about one of Frank Buglioni's, I wouldn't say rivals at the minute, but a guy that most people in social media have been talking about. Anthony Yarde has been calling Frank out on social media. What's your take on that? And do you think that fight will ever happen?
I'm not a promoter, we're all in the same industry, and Anthony Yarde happens to be in the same weight category as my father, Frank Buglioni. It's kind of a personal one, this question, because Anthony's trainer, Tunde, is my brother in terms of we're not the same mother and father, but brother in the sense that when I first came into this industry, he was, believe it or not, one of the people who guided me and pointed out who's who, and he was at it before me. And it gives me great joy to see, after the years of the work, all people know Tunde is about Anthony Yarde, but Tunde has had numerous of talented fighters go through him over the years. Like I said, I've been at it for 12 years now. He was at it prior to me, so he's had a number of talents go through him, and he's blessed because now he's been rewarded. Hard work pays out by a fighter in the name of Anthony Yarde, and I wish him. He's a world champion in the weighting. World champion in the weighting. Right. So it would be a very difficult one for him to face my guy. I'm quite an emotional guy in the sense that
yes.
it wouldn't be right. I wouldn't like to see that, but I know the audience, the public, it's not about me.
Yeah.
The public would love to see that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah? It will make a good fight. Yes, it would. But for me, it's quite a sensitive one because the relationship I have with Tunde and YARDE to a certain degree, when he was first joined Tunde brought him to me. I worked his first corner. If you go and watch his first fight, Anthony YARDE, Tunde asked me to come, out of respect, to come and do the corner with him for Anthony YARDE's professional debut, right? So therefore, it's kind of very, very personal. It would really have to take some for my guy from Buglioni to fight YARDE. What I would, in an ideal world, is Anthony is good enough, young enough. There are 5 world titles out there.
Yeah.
In any weight division. 4 titles.
4, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So therefore, what's the rush to fight my guy? Let YARDE is good enough, track him. If I were a promoter, track him to capture 1 or 2 or 3 of the other world titles. My guy is definitely going to be capturing 1, 2 or 3 of them. So therefore, when it's worth it for both fighters, yeah, let them get it on. But it's kind of pointless for us, for a start. Frank is the British champion, former world title challenger. Yeah, in terms of experience, Frank is miles ahead of Anthony YARDE. Okay, so why would I then fighting Anthony YARDE? No disrespect to my brother Tunde, Anthony YARDE, it would be a backward step for us. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So therefore, we're going to carry on the path we are. Okay, to let Anthony develop. Let him develop, I say. What's the rush? Let him develop. And come such time, like I said, if I were a promoter where they're holding relevant belts,
Yes.
then we'll consider whether they're going to meet each other or not.
Unify. All right then. So we've established that with Frank. Well, you have another light heavyweight on the books, Jordan Joseph.
I have 2.
So number 2.
I have 2. I've inherited Miles Shinkwin.
Miles Shinkwin.
Yeah, I'm a very experienced, very stylistically, love his style. He's recently joined our team. As you mentioned, my son is like my son, Jordan Joseph, 22 years old, just turned. Recently contested for the Southern Area title,
yes,
which in my eyes, in my opinion, I still got the DVD. Yeah, he won the fight hands down. They awarded it to Christopher Hobbs. Yeah, this is killing boxing. Some of the decisions that I've witnessed, not just on me, on other people. I've gone to your corner and seen some decisions awarded. Not fair, not right, shouldn't happen, but it happens. In our case, Jordan Joseph, out of 10 rounds against Hobbs, I will sit with anyone who says they know boxing, yeah, any panel, and I'll point out to them why, to be generous, I would have awarded Mr. Hobbs maybe 2 rounds out of 10. So how the judge on the night, it was unanimous to Hobbs. So, but the way God works, he got presented to Anthony YARDE and it got exposed, yeah? Got exposed there because it's not on that level. It's not on Jordan Joseph's level, yeah, skill-wise. It's not, definitely not Anthony YARDE's level. And the way it has, okay, you saw the rest, you saw the result. He didn't get a look in because it's not at that level. That was potentially very dangerous for Mr. Hobbs to have been awarded. Now, the reason some of these decisions have to stop, there's a lot of reasons for it. Now, you've awarded a decision to a guy, yeah, who's, as a boxer, yes, he's got a heart, but you need more than heart. You need a lot. There's a lot of other things that make up to you being that complete boxer. They've put his life in danger by awarding him that belt for him to go and face someone as dangerous as Anthony YARDE. That's what he ran into. Yeah, which is these decisions. You know, you got to watch when you award them, who you award them to. They have to earn it. They have to show. Boxing is an art. It's an art. You have to demonstrate, okay, that I am the worthy champion. Don't. The 2 fighters have trained equally, equally as hard as each other. Okay, my fighter worked his butts off for that title, and we won that title. I'll challenge anybody who disagrees with me. Let's sit down, and if I'm wrong in the end, I will apologize. Yeah, I'm not a bitter guy. I'm a very sensitive in the sense that I hate being cheated. I've never knowingly cheated anybody because I'm not a cheat. But when someone cheats me, I take it very, very personal. So you can hear it in my tone. I still feel very, 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 very angry about that decision that day. I'll never forget it as long as I live.
Absolutely, and you've been through a couple of times with the Helenius and Derek Chisora bad decision as well. So we're going to still talking about the light heavyweights. So Mark Sinchwin and Jordan Joseph. Would you think in the future, because they're on the similar level as Annie Yard, you think again going back to Tunde, because obviously how Tunde mentioned
any of my fighters who would fight or be matched with Anthony Yarde, it still remains, whether it's Buglioni or Jordan Joseph, it still remains the same case. That thing it's hard. It's like when Derek Chisora fought Danny Williams. I can reveal this now. I fought Danny. Danny's my boy. I used to bring him up. He boxed for the same amateur club as me. When the fight was first made, I called Danny. I said, don't take this fight, bro. He said, I got a fight. I said, no, don't take. In fact, Tunde, I was speaking because Tunde was training Danny Williams. I called Tunde up. I said, listen, no, don't let him have this fight with my boy. He doesn't have to fight Derek Chisora. And again, if you go and watch the fight at Upton Park, 2-round stoppage, I didn't even celebrate after the fight. Because I'm a sensitive guy.
I remember that was the British and Commonwealth belt at the same time he took as well. I'll tell you what, we're going to stop for a sec and we're going to come back, talk about Derek Chisora. I'm going to talk about Ian Lewison. If you don't know, breaking news on boxing. 1 second, guys. Okay, so we're back. All right, and so Don Charles, so we were talking about Derek Chisora, Dillian Whyte. So apparently Dillian Whyte and Derek Chisora have had cancellations, shall we say. Is it possible in the near future that these two will fight again, and if so, when so? Could we see that fight? Because the first fight was a thrilling fight. Both fans enjoyed it, and it was controversial which way again. Some people picked Derek, some people thought Dillian. Is that going to happen part 2? And if it could, give us some information on this fight.
Well, Derek personally has always wanted a return of that first epic battle. It was a very entertaining fight for the audience. It wasn't entertaining for me because that was never meant to go like that. In the sense, we were meant to box smarter than that, and unfortunately, he made into the fight that it turned out to be. A rematch should happen. When I couldn't tell you because I'm not a promoter. Derek is actively on a daily basis chasing the fight. He's chasing. It just so happens that both cancellations recently. That just tells you these two guys need each other. In order to go forward. Nobody goes into a fight to lose a fight, but I think Dillian should really look around him. The only logical fight for Dillian Whyte to have is against Derek Chisora.
Absolutely. You said this recently on the IFL interview. Shout out to IFL. That he said that that he'd like to fight him, and also the cancellation of Marius Watt with Dillian and Derek with the Helenius fight. It makes sense. So, realistically, if that date, when would it? And also another thing as well. Firstly, I feel as well. Do you think it's whether it's a pay-per-view or not a headline of the pay-per-view, especially after what happened in the first fight? On Big Thing. I mean, it wasn't pay-per-view the first fight. It was like the undercard of Brazil and Josh.
No, it wasn't Brazil and Joshua. It was Molina and Joshua.
My bad, Molina and Joshua. Absolutely, it's obviously thanks for the correction. Molina and Joshua. So you think this fight should be a main event pay-per-view?
Most definitely. And why not? Tell me why shouldn't? Again, I'm not a promoter, but I think it warrants. Based on it won fight of the year.
Yes.
Okay.
Did it?
It won fight of the year.
Okay.
Why not? As long as the undercard is strong enough, I think people will pay for that. I certainly would pay for it.
definitely not. And do you think coming into that fight, Derek will make it conclusive this time, that he will win the fight?
Most definitely. I mean, listen, I know what we did and I know what we didn't do. I remember me and Derek had a break as trainer and coach.
That's true.
That was his first fight under me after 18 months of absence. So therefore, we had to retrace his roots as a fighter. And again, he'd been back with me for, I believe, 4 months prior to him fighting. So there's a lot of things that was missing from it that after the absence he had from me and me from him, we've now, over the past few months, we've retraced all his steps, what made him successful, how we know Derek Chisora. So The next fight, I'm sure Dylan Whyte is improving. I'm sure his trainers, Mark Tibbs and the governor, I call him Jimmy, the legendary Jimmy Tibbs. Listen, it couldn't be in better hands than Whyte. I'm sure they're improving him, which is going to make it even a better next fight. It's going to be even better.
Yeah, but listen, with the table throwing, the fights in Sky Studio.
No. There's not going to be any more table throwing.
But this is the thing, yeah. In both occasions, yeah, for the fight fans listening, you wasn't around. You wasn't around at the both sides. You wasn't at the Sky Studios and the press conference of that day when the table was thrown. If you were in them situations, do you think that would have escalated into that?
Also, no, I don't know. These things are not planned. There's random things that happen. I condemn it. It shouldn't happen.
Yes.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen. It happened. Derek's paid fine for it. It shouldn't happen in the future. No, definitely not.
Okay then. All right, we're gonna move on. Breaking news from Don Charles was recently said. So Robert Helenius will be fighting Ian Layham Lewison. Tell us a bit of details and when that fight will be happening.
As you know, Derek was in training for Helenius.
Yes.
And that, for some reason, unknown reason, didn't happen. So therefore, we got a call. As you know, I've been training Ian Lewison for quite a while now, and we were asked, you guys able to take this fight, relatively short, but Ian's been in the gym anyway. So before they could finish the sentence, the answer was yes.
And that's it, and that fight's gonna happen. Where do you
I believe it's happening in Estonia.
Yeah.
I believe it's happening on the 17th of June. Okay, where are we today? 7th of June? 8th?
8th.
Yeah, so it's about 9 days away. Do you know what I mean?
So it's pretty, So noticing that. Do you reckon Ian can cause the upset? I mean, you face Helenius.
Won't be an upset for us.
No.
Upset to the boxing world, perhaps, but no, we won't be upset. We'll be very happy. We'll be ecstatic. He will do it.
Is it got a belt on the line? What's the round?
I believe so. There is a belt attached. Is it 12? I'm not certain. There is a belt attached.
12 rounds fight?
10 round fight.
10 rounds, that's alright. Well, he's been 10 rounds with
Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan, so he should be in good shape. So Don, any other fighters you'd like to mention on the books?
Most definitely. Like I said earlier, Mark Shinkman has recently joined the camp. I've got Michael Devine, again recently joined the camp. I've got Nick Parker, the cruiserweight, unbeaten cruiserweight, and I will say I'll put him in. He's only had 4 fights. I'll put him in with any cruiserweight actively right now in Britain.
I'm glad you said that, because I was actually thinking about it. So you got Laura Sicoli, and also you have Isaac Chamberlain or Wadi Camacho. You put him in with any of
that. I told you, I'll look you in the eye. I said to you, right now, I'm not a promoter. Right now, I'll put him with any cruiserweight in this country right now.
There you go. You heard it first from Don Charles. Willing to find the best cruiserweight, and the cruiserweight division is stacking up. You've got Ozzy Durant who's fighting Danny Cousins coming up. So it's stacking up pretty well. Wadi Camacho.
Most definitely.
Yeah, very good. So Don, last words to the fight fans and obviously to the.
Sorry, my apologies. I missed one guy.
Go ahead, Don.
How can I miss him?
Yeah.
Right, Josh Burnham.
Josh. Yeah, Josh Burnham.
Right?
Yeah.
I call him the vicious one. Jose Mourinho is called the special one. I call this kid the vicious one. Yeah? Watch out for him. He's a middleweight. Exceptional middleweight.
Alright, another thing as well for the fight fans listening, there's fights on this Saturday. So Nick Parker's definitely fighting this Saturday
on the Goodwin show.
On the Goodwin show in the York Hall. Is Josh fighting this Saturday on the York Hall?
Yes, he is. And also 2 people from this gym, James and who's the other chap? James and what's my guy? Charlie. They're all fighting. Tony Pill, the trainer who trains with myself, alongside myself.
Yeah.
Those are his 2 fighters. They're also on the York Hall. And Charlie Quinn, who's helped Frank preparing for his fight.
Yeah.
Charlie Quinn is from Portsmouth, I believe.
Yeah.
He's a fireman from Portsmouth. He's also fighting at the weekend. Nick Harper's cousin. It's quite a low.
His cousin. What's his cousin's name again?
Spiros 300.
Yeah, Spiros 300. Oh, he's 300.
No, Nick's 300 Spiros is SD.
Nick changed his name. Not for he called it. Is it Hellraiser? Nightmare. Is it Nightmare or back to 300 now?
Well, no, it's both.
It's 300.
Yeah, he's a nightmare to anybody. But his thing is Nick. You know where the 300 comes from, right?
Yeah, the movie.
The movie, yeah. It looks like one of the characters.
Yeah, it looks like one of the characters, absolutely. So, fight fans, make sure you make your way down to the York Hall, Bethnal Green, this Saturday. I think opening doors at 5. Get your tickets from Steve Goodwin if you can. And obviously, you've got the summer brawl, July the 1st. Frank Buglioni is going to be on the card. Heading the card. Sorry, Ziri. Main event against Ricky Summers. And Ian Lewison versus Helenius. Maybe that will be shown on Sky or some sort of broadcast.
No, that will be shown, I believe, Box Nation, if anything.
Oh, Box Nation.
Yeah.
That's very good. That would be good. Alright, so yeah, man, Don, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. And obviously, your fight, I'm sure your fight is going to be very successful. And probably talk to you after the fighters have had their fights. Thanks very much, Don. Appreciate it. Thank you.
DJ Boxing Live here. DJ Boxing Live here.